Are you a beginner in SQL? You came to the right place. We are going to solve top 50 SQL problems from basics to advanced. From this, we can gain both theoretical and practical knowledge. So, this course will be very useful for you. So, let's start the course. Welcome everyone. Now we are going to solve our first SQL program in the HackerRank platform. We are going to solve basics to advanced. For that, first we need to open the basic problem in the HackerRank platform. So I am going to select Oracle SQL to solve this problem. After that, we need to read the question and then we can solve. So the question says query all columns. That is nothing but we need to select all the columns. So column contains the American cities. We need to select all the American cities in the city table, the table name city. So after selecting that, we need to provide the condition. The condition is population larger than 1 lakh. So we need to select all the American cities. After that, the country code will be USA. So you can see the city table with the 2 columns, field and type. The ID, name, country code, district, population. These are all the fields. So we need to query all the columns. That is, select all the columns. For that, you have to type select star, nothing but all. American cities from the city table. You have to type the city. That's the table name. So, and then you can see the condition population larger than 1 lakh. American cities population larger than 1 lakh. For that, you have to type where condition, where population. You have to type the column name population greater than 1 lakh. So that's the population in the field column. So, and then you can see the country code for America is USA. So you have to type the country code USA. And then you have to type country code like USA. So that's the country code. So after that, you need to run the code. So that's it. This is the code for our first basic SQL problem. We have successfully solved our first program. In the next class, we are going to solve our second program. Welcome everyone. Now we are going to solve our second SQL program in the HackerRank platform. So for that, we need to use the Oracle SQL to solve this problem. First, we need to read the question and then we have to solve the problem. So we need to query the name field. We have to select the name field for all American cities. And then table name will be city. The condition population larger than 1,20,000. Also, the country code for America is USA. So this is the question. So we just need to select only the name field from the city table. In previous problem, we have to select all the values. But in this problem, we have to select only the name field. So we need to select name. So you have to type select name from the table name city where you have to type the condition where and the population where population. So you have to type the field name population greater than 1,20,000. Also, you have to type the country code for America and country code like. So you have to type the country code USA. So this is the code for our second problem. So first we need to select the name from the city table. The name, that's the American city, and the condition population greater than 1,20,000. Country code USA. So you need to run the code. So we have successfully solved our second program. So this is the output. So these are all the name where condition population greater than 1,20,000. So these are all the American city name. At last you have to submit the code. That's it. We have successfully solved our second program. In the next class, we are going to solve our third program. Welcome everyone. We are going to solve our third SQL program. So we need to query all the columns. That is nothing but we need to select all the columns for every row in the city table. The table name city. You can see the two columns, field and type. We need to query all the columns. So you have to type the code for this problem. So you have to type select all from city. So we need to select all the columns. So you have to run this code. So we have successfully completed this program. So it is very simple one. We just need to select all the values. So these are all the output. So at last you have to submit this code. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our fourth basic problem. For the fourth problem, we need to select all the columns for a city in the city table with the ID 1661. So we need to query all the columns. We need to select all the columns from the city table with the ID 1661. So it is also very simple program. So you have to type this code, select star from city. You have to type the where condition, where, and then you have to see the ID, the column ID equal to 1661. So this is the code. We need to query all the columns, that is select all the columns from the city table, from city, and then you can see the ID 1661. So you have to use the where condition ID equal to 1661. You have to run this code. So we have successfully solved this problem. So this is the output. So the ID output. At last you have to submit this code. So that's it. In next class we are going to solve our fifth basic problem. For the fifth problem, we need to query all the attributes of every Japanese city from the city table. The table name city. We need to query, that is select all the values from the Japanese city, and then country code for the Japan is JPN. So you can see the city table with the two columns, field and type. For that you have to type this code. We need to query all the attributes. For that, type select star from the table city, that is the table city table, and then you can see the country code for Japan. For that you have to use the where condition, country code for Japan JPN, country code like JPN. So you have to type like JPN. So this is the simple code for this problem. So we need to select all the values from the city table, and then country code, that is the condition, where condition. So it will select all the values. So you have to run this code. That's it. We have successfully solved our fifth problem. This is the output for the country code JPN, Japan. So in the next class, we are going to solve our sixth problem. For the sixth problem, we need to query the names of all the Japanese city. We need to select only the names, that is the column, name column, from the city table. We need to select name from the city table, and the condition is country code for Japan is JPN. Only the names. In the last problem, we have to select all the values. In this, we have to select only the name. So we have to type select name from the table city where country code like JPN. So this is the code. So you have to type name from the city and then country code JPN. So I have to run this code. So we have successfully completed this problem. So these are all the outputs. So these are all the names of the Japanese city. We need to select only the name and the country code JPN. At last, you have to submit the code. So in the next class, we are going to solve our seventh problem. For the seventh problem, we need to select, that is, query the list of city and state from the table station. In the previous class, the table name city, but this problem, the table name station. So we need to select the city and state. So we have to type this code to select the city and state. You have to select city, state from station table. That's it. We need to select city and state. So you need to run this code. So that's it. We have successfully solved the seventh problem. So these are all the city and state from the station table. In the next class, we are going to solve our eighth problem. For the eighth problem, we need to query the list of city names from the station table that has an even ID number. We need to select the city from the station table. So the city must be even ID number. That's the condition. And also, you have to remove the duplicates from the answer. So this code is slightly different from other problems. So first, you have to type select. So we need to select the city. Select. Before that, you have to type removing the duplicate code. For that, you have to type distinct. It will remove the duplicates from your output. So we need to provide only unique city from the station table. Also, condition will be even ID number. So you have to type where condition, where mod ID comma 2. So it will provide only the even ID cities. Mod ID comma 2 equal to 0. Whatever ID takes the mod of 2, use the remainder 0, that will be our output. So that's the condition, even ID number. So you need to run this code. So that's it. We have successfully solved our eighth problem. So these are all the output with no duplicates. Also the condition even ID number. At last, you have to submit the code to complete this problem. So that's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our ninth problem. So we have successfully earned our first star. So we need to solve the ninth problem in the HackerRank platform. For that, first we have to read the question. So the question says, find the difference between the total number of city in the table and the number of distinct city in the table. So we need to find the difference. For that, first we need to subtract the total number of city, total count of the city, minus, and then distinct cities, number of distinct cities, count. We need to subtract total number of city minus the count of distinct cities. So from the table station. So that's the condition. So this is also very simple problem. For that, first you have to type select count. So total number of cities. Difference between total number of city and then number of distinct city. For total, you have to type count. That's the code. Count of city. So that's the column name city. Difference between. So for that, you have to type minus. Number of distinct city. So for that, we need to remove the duplicates. You have to type count of distinct city. So it will remove the duplicate value from the city, and then it will count number of. So for that only you have to type count. So this is the condition from the city table. You have to type the table name station, not city, the table name station. Count total number of city. And then count total number of distinct city. Difference minus. And then table name station. So I have to run this code. That's it. Our successful output 13. So that 13 is the output. In the next class, we are going to solve the next problem. For this problem, we need to query the list of city names starting with the vowels A, E, I, O, U from the station name. Also, our output does not contain any duplicates. So it is very simple. We need to provide only the city name starting with A, E, I, O, U. And then output does not contain any duplicates. For that, we can use distinct. So you have to type select distinct city, where city like A, E, I, O, U. So you have to type values A, E, I, O, U. Capital and then small. So you need to copy paste one by one. And then you have to change E, I, O, U. And then you have to type the capital also. First you have to type the small and then you have to type the capital. So you have to change A, E, I, O, U. So this is the code. So you need to type the table name from station. So you have to remember that you have to type the table name. After that, you have to run this code. That's it. We have successfully completed this problem. So these are all the output where city name starts with vowels A, E, I, O, U. Whether it is small or capital, we are provided the output. So we need to submit this code. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our 11th problem. For the 11th problem, the question says we need to query the list of city names ending with vowels A, E, I, O, U. In the previous problem, starting with vowels, but this problem ending with vowels from the station. Also, our output does not contain any duplicates. So, same, we need to provide ending condition. So, for that, first you have to type the select condition. You have to type distinct. We need to provide unique output. City from station, that's the table name, station, where condition, city like. So you have to type percentage A. So that's the condition for vowels ending. So also you have to copy the code and then you can paste for A, E, I, O, U ending with vowels. So ending with vowels, this is the code. Or this or that. For that only you have to use or. So you need to copy paste for everything and then change A, E, I, O, U. You have to type both small and capital. So this is the code for this problem. We need to select the cities where vowels ending. So you have to run this code. That's it. We have successfully solved this problem. So these are all the output where city ending with vowels A, E, I, O, U. You can see A, E, I, O, U. So this is the output. So you have to submit this code. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our 12th problem. For this problem, we need to query the list of city names. That is, we need to select the city names from the station table and the condition that do not start with vowels. Also, the second condition, our result does not contain any duplicates. So, it is also very simple. In the previous problems, the condition will be starting with vowels. But this problem, it does not start with vowels. So you have to type select distinct city from the station table where the condition city not like does not start with vowels. You have to type does not start with vowels. For that, you have to type a percentage. So the vowels does not start. So this is the condition. So you have to copy for A, E, I, O, U. So you have to change A, E, I, O, U also for capital. And U, capital U. So this is the code for this problem. So it is very simple. We need to select the city names from the station table that do not start with vowels. And then result does not contain any duplicates. Duplicate, we need to use the distinct. And then condition not like a percentage. You have to run this code. So that's it. We have successfully solved our 12th problem. So these are all the expected output for this problem. So you have to submit this code to complete this problem. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our 13th problem. For this problem, we need to query the list of city names from the station table that do not end with vowels. Also, output does not contain any duplicates. In the previous problem, we have seen that we cannot provide the output starting with vowels. So, you have to type select distinct city from station where condition city not like end with vowels. For that, you have to type %A. So this is the condition for not end. You have to copy paste for AEIOU. So you have to change E, I, O, U and capital A, E, I, O, U. So this is the code. So you have to run this code. That's it. We have successfully solved the 13th problem. The vowels not ending cities. At last, you have to submit the code. So in the next class, we are going to solve our 14th problem. So we have successfully earned our second star. Now we are going to solve intermediate SQL problem in the HackerRank platform. For this problem, we need to query the name of any student in the students table and the condition the score must be greater than 75 marks. So we can see the table students name. That's the column. We need to select the name from the students table. Condition greater than 75 mark. You can see the mark column. Also, you can see order your output based on last 3 characters of each name. So we need to order the output based on last 3 characters. So also you can see the other condition. If 2 or more students both have same names ending with the same last 3 characters. For example, Bobby, Robbie, last 3 characters BBY and Robbie, BBY. So these are all the condition. Names ending with same last 3 characters. If that, we need to sort them by ascending order. So there are lot of conditions in this problem. So we are going to solve one by one. So you have to type select name. We need to select the name of the student from the students table. And then you have to type the condition. The condition where score greater than 75, where mark greater than 75. So that's the first condition. After that, we need to order our output. Order the output. We need to order the name with last 3 characters. For that, you have to use substring for last 3 characters. You have to type substring of name. So each name, last 3 characters. For that, you have to type comma, last 3 characters. -3 because of last 3 characters. So if last 3 characters are same, then we need to sort them by ascending order. So that's the last condition. First condition, mark greater than 75. Second condition, order them by last 3 characters. And the last third condition, if the last 3 characters are same, we need to sort them by ascending order. So you have to type ID ascending. So we need to sort them by ascending order. So that's it. So this is the code for this problem. So you have to run this code. So there are some test case failed. So we need to type comma and then you have to run this code. For Oracle SQL, you need to check the syntax. So that's it. We have successfully solved this problem. So this is also very simple problem. There are a lot of conditions. We need to understand the condition and we need to find the commands. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our 15th problem. So now we are going to solve this problem. So first we need to read the question. So the question says we need to write a query that prints the list of employee names. So from the employee table in the alphabetical order. So this is also very simple problem. We need to print the list of employee names. We need to select all the employee names from the employee table in the alphabetical order. So you can see the employee table name. So we need to select all the employee names from the employee table. And then you have to type the condition. So the name should be in alphabetical order. All the employee names in the output must be in alphabetical order. Order by name. So I have to run this code. So these are all the output where then employee names in the alphabetical order A to Z. So you have to submit this code. So that's it. In the next class, we are going to solve our 17th problem. For the 17th problem, we need to write a query that prints list of employee names. Simple. We need to select all the employee names from the employee table. And then you have to type the condition salary greater than $2,000 per month. And then the employee must be less than 10 months. So that's the third condition. And then your result will be in ascending employee ID. It is also very simple problem. We need to print the list of employee names, the condition salary greater than $2,000. Other condition, the employee must be less than 10 months. At last, we need to order by ascending ID. So first you have to type select and then you have to type name from the employee table. We need to select name from the employee table. And then you have to type the first condition salary greater than $2,000 per month. You have to type 2,000. And then you have to type the second condition. An employee must be less than 10 months. That employee must be less than 10 months. Month less than 10. And then we need to order our output based on ascending employee ID. Order by employee ID ascending order. So this is the code for this problem. So it is very simple one. There are three conditions: salary and then month and then ascending ID. So you have to run this code. So that's it. Our successful output. So these are all the output for our problem. Employee ID, name, month, salary. So from this table, you can understand the output. At last, you have to submit this code. That's it. We have successfully solved the basic problems. In the next class, we are going to solve our 18th problem. Now we are going to solve this problem. So we need to query the count of number of cities in the city table where population larger than 1 lakh. So it is very simple problem. So we need to provide the count where the city population larger than 1 lakh. So for that you have to type select count of ID from city where population greater than 1 lakh. So this is the code. We need to provide the count of city from the city table. How many count? And then you have to run this code. So that's it. Our output 6. So these are all the cities where population larger than 1 lakh. So you have to submit this code. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve the 19th problem. For 19th problem, we need to query total population of all cities in city table where district is California. So we need to provide the total population for the California district. So it is very simple one. First you have to select count. So for this problem we can use sum. Instead of count we can use sum. Total population, sum of population from city where condition the district will be California. District like or equal California. So that's it. So this is the code for this problem. We need to find the total population of California district. Sum of population from city where district California. You have to run this code. So that's it. So this is the population for the district California. So we have successfully solved. In the next class, we are going to solve our 20th problem. So for this problem, we need to query the average population of all cities in the city table where district is California. So it is also very simple. So you have to type select average of population where the condition the district equal California. So we need to find the average population of California district. So you have to run this code. So that's it. So this is the average population of California district. So in the next class, we are going to solve our 21st problem. So for the 20th problem, we need to query the average population of all cities in the city table and we need to round to nearest integer. So it is also very simple. First we need to find the average and then we need to round them to the nearest integer. So you have to type average of population. First we have to find the average and then we have to change the round value from city. So this is the code. We need to round them to the nearest integer. So you have to run this. That's it. This is the rounded value for the average population. So you have to submit this code. We are successfully submitted. In the next class, we are going to solve the next problem. Now we are going to solve this problem. For that, we need to query the sum of population of all Japanese city in the city table, and the country code for Japan is JPN. So we need to count or sum the population. For that, you have to type select sum of population of all Japanese city from the city table. You have to type the condition where country code for Japan, country code like JPN or country code equal JPN. So we need to select sum of population. We need to sum all the population from the city table where country code JPN. So how to run this code for this problem? That's it. So this is the output for sum of all the population. We have successfully submitted the problem. Now we are going to solve this problem. So we need to query the difference between maximum and minimum population. So we need to subtract max and minimum population. So that's the concept. So for that, first you have to type select max of population minus min of population. And then you have to type the from city table. So this is the code. Simple one. We need to subtract max and minimum. So you have to run this code. That's it. So this is the difference output. Again, you have to submit this code. That's it. We have successfully earned our third star. Now we are going to solve this problem. This problem slightly different from other problems. So first we need to query following two values from the station table. Two conditions. Sum of all values in the latitude and round them to 2 decimal places. First we need to sum all the values, and based on the output we need to round them to decimal values. And then second condition, sum of all values in the longitude and then round the values. It is very, very simple. First we need to find the sum and then round them. So for that, first you have to type select round of sum of latitude. First we need to find the sum of the latitude and then round them to 2 decimal places, comma, and then you have to round sum of longitude, and then you have to round the sum value to 2 decimal places, and then you have to type the station table from station. So this is the code. We need to sum and then round the values. You have to run this code. So there are some wrong answer. So we need to check. So we need to change latitude to longitude and then run the code. So that's it. So this is our output. Rounded output. So you have to submit this code. So in the next class, we are going to solve our 24th problem. So for this problem, we need to query the sum of northern latitude from the station table and then you can see the condition values greater than this value 38.788 and less than this value, and then we need to truncate our answer to 4 decimal places. So it is very simple. We need to find the sum and then condition. We have to type the condition greater than and less than. At last we need to truncate our answer. So we have to type select, truncate is nothing but round. So you have to type round of sum of latitude, northern latitude. For that you have to type lat -n, 4. We need to round to 4 decimal places. From the station table, you have to type the station table, and then you have to type the condition northern latitude greater value and less than value. Greater than 38.7880 and less than latitude, northern latitude value less than 137.2345. So this is the condition for this problem. So first you have to sum and then round the value to 4 decimal places. So you have to run this code. That's it. So this is our output. So in the next class, we are going to solve our 26th problem. For the 26th problem, we need to query the greatest value of northern latitude. We have to find the greatest value of the northern latitude from the station table, and then condition the northern latitude value less than 137 point. And then we need to round our output to 4 decimal. So it is also very simple. You have to type select round. Truncate is nothing but round. And then we have to find the greatest value, that is maximum value. Max of northern latitude, latitude of n, 4. We have to truncate the value to 4 decimal places from the station table. Also, you have to type the where condition, where the northern latitude value less than latitude of n, less than 137.2345. So this is the code for this problem. We need to find the maximum value, and then we have to round the value to the 4 decimal places. Also, we need to satisfy the condition latitude value less than 137.2345. So you have to run this code. So this is the output for this problem, the greatest value of northern latitude. So in the next class, we need to solve the 27th problem. So we need to query the smallest northern latitude from the station table, and the condition the value must be greater than 38.7780. At last, we need to round the value to 4 decimal places. So this is the condition for this problem. We need to select smallest northern latitude. You have to type round because we need to round the values to 4 decimal places. And then for the smallest, we have to use min of northern latitude. We have to find the minimum latitude value from the station table with the condition where latitude of n greater than this value. Greater than 38.7780. So this is the code for this output. We need to find the minimum value and then round the value with the condition that value must be greater than this value. So you need to run this code. So wrong answer. So we need to round the value to 4. So we missed that. So again you have to run this code. So that's it. Output successfully came. So this is the round value. So I have to submit the code. That's it. In the next class, we are going to solve 28th problem. For 28th problem, we need to query the western longitude, where the smallest longitude, first we need to select the western longitude and the condition smallest northern latitude greater than 38.7780. At last, we need to round our decimal. So for this problem, we have to use two select conditions. First, we need to round the value. So we have to type select round of longitude, western longitude, comma 4. 4 decimal places from station table. Again, you have to use the where condition. Smallest northern latitude, you have to type select min of northern latitude, smallest latitude. Again, you have to type the same station table. So this will be the code for this problem. We need to round the value and then you have to provide the condition smallest northern latitude greater than this value, 38.7780. So that's it. First, we have to round the value from the station table and then the condition northern, smallest northern. For that, we need to find the smallest value. For that only, we have created second select condition. We need to find the smallest northern latitude. That value must be greater than 38.7780. So you have to run this code. So there is some error. Okay. We need to provide northern latitude equal. That value will be stored in latitude, northern latitude. So that's it. So this is our output. For 29th problem, we need to find the median. So median is defined as the number of separating the higher half of data set from the lower half. So that's the middle value, median. So we need to find the median of northern latitude from the station. And then the output must be round to 4 values, 4 decimal value. So it is very, very simple. We need to find the median for the northern latitude. So you have to type select round of median of northern latitude. And then we need to round the output to 4 decimal places, comma 4 from the station table. So that's it. So it is very, very simple. We need to find the median. You have to run this code. That's it. So this is our median output. So you have to submit this code. Done. In the next class, we are going to solve our 30th problem. So this problem is based on Manhattan distance. So you have to find the formula for the Manhattan distance. From that only you can solve this problem. So you have to read the questions. There are 2 points on the 2D plane. A happens to be the equal minimum value in the northern latitude, and B happens to the minimum value in the western longitude, and C happens to the equal maximum value, and D happens to the equal maximum value in the western. So you need to find the Manhattan distance between the 2 points P1 and P2 and round the output to 4 decimal places. So for this problem, you have to find the Manhattan formula. So using the Manhattan formula, we can solve this problem. So I'm going to type the formula. Select round of absolute value. It will provide absolute value ABS minimum value. First, we need to find the minimum value of northern latitude minus maximum value of northern latitude. So after subtracting these two values, it will provide the absolute value. And then we are going to round the value to 4 decimal places. So after that, you have to add absolute value of. So you need to find the minimum value for the western longitude. For that, you have to type min of western longitude minus max of western longitude. So this is the formula. So x1 minus x2, y1 minus y2, that's it. Comma 4. We need to round the values to 4 decimal places. So we have to find, first we need to subtract the minimum and maximum value, x1 minus x2, and then we have to add the subtracted value with y1 minus y2. That's it. So you need to run this code. So there are some error in the code. Yes, we need to type the from the table name. So you have to type from station. So you have to type from station. And then you have to run this code again. So that's it. So this is the output for this problem. So for this problem, you have to know the formula for Manhattan distance. So formula for Manhattan distance between 2 points. So you can see x1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2. So this is the formula for Manhattan distance. So for this problem, we need to know about the formula for Euclidean distance between 2 points. So you can see the 2 points P1 and P2 on the 2D plane, where A, B are the respective minimum and maximum value of northern latitude. CD are the respective minimum and maximum values for western longitude. So you need to find the Euclidean distance between P1 and P2. So you can see the Euclidean distance formula, x2 minus x1 power 2 plus y2 minus y1 power 2. So for this, you need to type select round of square root of power minimum value minus maximum value, minimum latitude, northern latitude minus maximum northern latitude value, minimum minus maximum. And then you have to take the square root. Comma plus power of minimum value of western longitude minus maximum value of western longitude. So power will be 2. Also you have to type comma 4. That will be the rounded 4 decimal value. You have to type the station from station, and then you have to run this code. So there are some error. So for Oracle SQL, we should not type POW. We have to type power, POWER. So that's the mistake. So you have to type POWER. So that's the command. Now we can run this code. So that's it. So this is our output. So for this problem, you have to know the Euclidean distance formula. So this is the formula and this is the output. For this problem, we have to print the pattern, star pattern using the SQL. So this is the sample pattern for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we need to write the query to print the pattern for 20. So for example, 20, 19, 18, 17 up to 1. So that's the pattern we need to print. So you need to type this syntax, set server output on. So this is the syntax for Oracle SQL. It may be different for other SQLs. And then you need to declare the variables. So you need to type declare, and then you have to type res club result, and then you have to begin. You have to type your code in this block. First, you need to declare the variables. After that, you need to start your command. So for that, first we have to type the for loop for I in reverse. We need to reverse the pattern. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For that, 20, 19, 17, reverse order 1 to 20. So that's the reverse order. And then you have to type loop, for loop. So this is the syntax. So if you don't know the syntax, you have to learn in the YouTube. And then you have to type result res. So after that, you have to type for j. So first we have successfully printed I loop. Now we need to provide the j loop. Or you have to type for j in, for j in 1 up to I loop. So you have to type the for loop for j. Again you have to type res. That's the variable. So you need to provide the format for printing the star. So this is the format for printing the star. You need to provide space. So this is the j loop for printing the star. For loop for the rows and j loop for the printing star for the 20 pattern. And then we need to end the loop. We need to end the for loop. After that, we need to provide the output For that you have to use this syntax dbms output dot put line of, we need to provide the variable res. It will print all the pattern, star pattern. This will print the star pattern. And then you need to run, and then you need to end the loop for I. After that you need to end the begin. So this is the syntax for Oracle to print the pattern. First you need to set the server output on. After that you need to declare the variables. What are all the variables you can declare inside the declare format. And then you have to type the begin. Inside the begin block, you have to type your code. For this problem, we need to print the pattern. You have to type the I loop and J loop. I loop for the rows, columns, J loop for the pattern printing. At last, you need to end the loop for J and then I. So this is the code. You have to run this. It will print the pattern 20. That's it. Our code successfully executed. So now we are going to solve the second pattern for 5 in the ascending order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the previous class, we are discussed in the reverse order for 20. First, we need to set the server output on. And then we need to declare the variables. Res. You can type your own variables. Declare club. And then you have to type begin. Inside the begin, we need to type the for I, for J. First, we need to type the for I for the rows and columns. 20 rows. And then you have to type res. Next. For that, you have to type space. And then you have to type the J. J in 1 up to I loop. After that, you need to print the pattern, star pattern. Res star space. And then you have to end the J loop. After that, you have to print the pattern. You have to type dbms output dot put line of res. It will print the pattern. After that, you have to end the I loop. And then you have to end the begin and end the code. So this is the code for printing the star pattern. Inside the declare, you have to declare the variables. Inside the begin, you have to declare your code for the pattern I and J. So you have to run this code. So you can see our output is successfully executed. From 1 to 20, star pattern is printed. For this problem, we need to print all the prime numbers from less than or equal to 1000. So in a single line, our output will be in a single line. And then we need to use the separator ampersand for the output. For space, we need to use ampersand. So it is also very simple. We need to find the prime numbers. For that, you have to type the same syntax, set server output on. And then you need to declare the variables. What are all the variables you need for this problem? You have to declare result club space, quotation space, equal to quotation space. And then you have to type the count for the prime numbers. Count number. Count will be number. And then you have to type begin. Inside that, we need to type the prime number code. First, we need to type the I loop for the rows, starting from 2 to 1000. So you have to type for I in 2 up to 1000 loop. It will be I loop. So after that, we have to set the count to 0. First, the count will be 0. So after that, we have to provide j. J in 2 to, you have to type I divided by 2. Whatever value I divided by 2, it will be present in j. So after that, you need to take mod to find the prime. So you have to type if mod of I comma j, whatever values in the I and j, mod remainder 0 gives, that will be in the if. Then we are going to set the count to 1. Count equal to 1. Count will be increased based on the mod output. You have to exit and then end the if. So this is the syntax. Also, you need to end the j loop. Now we need to print the output. So before that, if the count is 0, then we need to provide the I value in the result. Result res I ampersand so this is the out count. If the count is 0, we need to provide only the I value in the output. Also, we need to end the if and end the loop for I. At last, we are going to provide the output if the count greater than or equal to 1. For that, you have to type dbms output dot put line of result. Before that, you have to type the substring for creating the output 2 ampersand 3 ampersand 5 ampersand. For that, substring of result comma 1 comma length of result minus 1. End. You have to end all the values. That's it. So this is the code for finding the prime numbers from 2 to 1000. You need to set the server output on and then you have to declare the variables. After that, you have to begin your code for the prime numbers. First, you have to provide the I loop for the rows 2 to 1000. And then you have to set the count to 0. After that, you have to provide the j. So j will be starting to 2 to I divided by 2. After that, we are going to take the mod. From the mod, we are going to set the count to 1. The count will be increased. And then we are exiting all the loops. So if the count is 0, we are going to provide only the I. So you have to run this code. So that's it. We have successfully find the prime numbers between 2 to 1000. So these are all the prime numbers in single line separated by ampersand. So this problem is based on finding the types of triangles. So the types like equilateral, isosceles, scalene are not a triangle. So you can also see the definitions for equilateral. Equilateral is nothing but three sides are equal. Isosceles is nothing but two sides are equal. Scalene is nothing but three sides are different length. Not a triangle is nothing but it cannot form any triangle. So we need to find the types of triangle using the Oracle SQL. First you have to type select case. First case will be forming a triangle, whether three sides can form a triangle or not. So for that you have to type this condition, a plus b greater than c. And a plus c greater than b, and b plus c greater than a. So this is the condition for forming a triangle. If this condition is satisfied, we can find whether it is equilateral, scalene or isosceles. If this condition is not satisfied, then we can finally say that it cannot form a triangle. So this is the condition for creating a triangle. So first condition is for equilateral. Three sides are equal. A equal to b and b equal to c. Then it will be equilateral because three sides are equal. The definition for equilateral, three sides are equal length. You have to type quotation. Inside that you have to type equilateral. So after that we have to find the isosceles. Two sides are equal. A equal to b or b equal to c. Any two sides are equal. That's why we need to type or. B equal to c or a equal to c. Then it will be isosceles. So you have to type quotation isosceles. The last condition, it will be scalene. It will be in different length. All triangle size in different length. A will be in different, C will be in different, B will be in different. So that's the three conditions, isosceles, scalene and equilateral. You have to end. Else, the first condition is not satisfied, we can finally say that it will not form a triangle. You can type not a triangle. End. It will end the case. And then you have to type the table name, triangles. That's the table name. End from triangle. So this is the condition for finding the types of triangles. First, we need to find the condition for whether the three sides can form a triangle. If the condition is satisfied, we can find the types. If they're not satisfied, it will not form a triangle. So you have to run this code. So that's it. So our output is successfully executed. So in the next class, we are going to solve other problems. So this problem is based on finding the types of node. So there are three types of node in binary search tree: root node, leaf node and inner node. We need to find that using the two columns n and p. Using the two columns n and p. Based on that values, we can find the types of node. So first you have to type select n. So first we need to use the n. So n represent the value of node in the binary tree. P is the parent of n. So where p is null, then it will be root. If there is no parent, it will be considered as root node. You have to type when n in select p, that is the parent node, from You have to type the table BST, binary search tree. If there are any parents present in the table, it will be considered as inner. And in select P from BST, then it will be inner node. P is nothing but parent. If there are any parent present. So for that, I'm going to show an image for binary search tree. So 8 is the root node. Also 8 is the parent for 3 and 10. So based on the parent, we can find the inner node. 3 is the parent for 1 and 6. 1 is the leaf node. So 6 is the parent for 4 and 7. Now we need to provide the condition for leaf. Else it will be considered as leaf. So 1 is the leaf node. We need to end the case. Also you have to type n from BST. Order by n. So you have to run this code. So we can see our output is successfully executed. So this is how you can find the types of node in the binary search tree. Now we have successfully earned our 5th star. We are going to solve the next problem. So there are 2 tables, city and country. We need to query the names of all the continents. Names of all the continents, country.continent, and then their respective average city population. We need to round the output to nearest integer. You have to type select you need to find the names of all the continents. For that, you have to type country. Inside that, you can see the column continent. So you have to type country.continent, comma, names of all the continents. That is the country.continent. After that, we have to find the average city population. So you have to use the second average. For that, you have to type floor. So we need to round the value. For that, we are using floor, average of city.population. So first we need to find the average city population, city.population. And then we need to round the value. For that, we are using floor. And then you have to type the table name city, comma, country, where you have to type the condition city dot country code equal country dot country code. You can see the note. It must be matching. City dot country code must be matched with country dot code. So this is the condition. So that's it. Also, we need to group by country dot continent. We need to group. So this is the code for this problem. So we have to run this code. So we can see the output for this problem. Now we are going to solve this problem. Samantha was tasked with calculating the average month salaries for all employees. So she was calculating the average salaries for all the employees. So, but She did not realize her keyboard zero key was broken until after completing the calculation. So zero key was broken. So she wants our help finding the difference between her miscalculation using salaries with any zeros removed. We need to remove the zeros and actual average salary. So it is very simple problem. We need to find the difference between, that is, subtract the miscalculation with average calculation. So we need to write the query calculating the amount of error, that is actual average salary minus miscalculated average salary. So first we need to type select. After that we are going to use ceiling function for rounding the value. Ceil average of salary. We need to find the average actual salary minus actual salary minus average of miscalculated salary. That is, we need to replace zeros with null. So you have to type replace of salary, comma, 0. We need to remove the zeros to null. For that, you can type quotation, single quotation. From the table, employee table. So that's it. So this is the code, simple code for this problem. They also said that using salaries with any zeros removed, we need to remove the zeros. The formula will be actual minus miscalculated. So we need to run this code. So that's it. So this is the output for this code. 2253. That will be the amount of error. So in the next class, we are going to solve the 39th problem. So now we are going to solve this problem. So there are two tables, students and grades. So student table contains three columns, ID, name, marks. And grades contains the following data. There are three columns, grade, minimum mark, maximum mark. So after that, we can see the question. Katie gives Eve a task to generate a report containing three columns. So output will be three columns, name, grade, mark. So Katie does not want the names of those students who receive a grade lower than 8. So output does not provide grade less than 8. So report must be in descending order of the grade. So output must be in descending order of the grade. That is, higher the grade, enter first. If more than one student with the same grade assigned to them, order the students by their name alphabetically. So if the grades are same, the name will be ordered by alphabetically. So finally, if the grade lower than 8, use null as their name. List them by descending order. List them by their descending order. Same grade assigned to them, order to them by ascending orders. There is, so it is very simple problem. We need to generate the output based on the grade, whether it is less than 8 or greater than 8. So we are going to solve the problem. For that, you have to type select case, whether it is less than 8 or greater than 8. So you have to type the case when grade dot, that's the table name, grades dot grade greater than or equal to 8. Then if the grade greater than or equal to 8, then student table students dot name. We are going to print the student's name greater than or equal to 8. So it must be in descending order of the grade, that is higher value, greater than or equal to 8. else, null. So if the value is less than 8, we will print null. End. We need to end the case. After that, you have to type grades.grade, comma, student.mark. So if the grade is lesser than 8, we can use null as their name. Also, we need to order them by descending order. You have to type student.mark. You have to type the name of the table, students.mark. So you have to type the table names, students from students, comma, grades. You have to type the second table, grades. So after that, you have to type the condition where student table name students dot mark, student mark greater than grade dot minimum mark and students dot marks less than or equal to greater than or equal to grades dot minimum mark and students dot marks less than or equal to maximum mark. Order them by grades. Descending order. We need to provide them by descending order. And students dot name. We are going to print the name. And students dot mark. So this is the code for this problem. We need to print only the names of the students whose grade greater than or equal to 8. Otherwise, we need to print null. Also, we need to print the output in descending order. So you have to run this code. So our output is successfully executed. We have solved this problem. So in the next class, we are going to solve our 40th problem. We are going to solve our 40th problem. So the question, we need to read that. So we define an employee's total earnings to be their monthly salary into months. So total earnings will be calculated as salary into month. And maximum total earnings to be the maximum total earnings for any employee. Write a query to find the maximum total earnings for all employees as well as total number of employees who have maximum total earnings and print these two values, two separated integers. So we need to print two output. So first output will be our maximum earnings. Second output will be our who has the maximum earnings, which employee has the maximum earning. So that will be the second output. So it is also very simple problem. So for that, we need to type select. First, we need to select months star salary. So it will be considered as total earnings. So this is the formula for the total earnings. So after that, we need to find the maximum total earnings. So you have to type count of star. So we need to count from employee. So first we need to find the total earnings. Total earnings is nothing but months into salary. After that, we need to find who are all the employees having the maximum salary. For that, we are using count. So after that, we need to group them by total earnings. For that, you have to type months into salary, group by month into salary. After that, we need to order them. Order by total earnings. Same total earnings, month into salary. In the descending order. So it will contains the descending value, that is the highest value. So after that, you have to provide the limit 1. So you have to run this code. So that's it. So also we can see there are two separated integers. So first one will be the total earnings, and 7 is nothing but 7 employees have maximum earnings. At last you need to submit the code. So that's it. We have successfully solved this problem. So now we are going to solve 41 problem. So there are two tables, city and country. So we need to query the names of all the continents, that is country.continent, and then their average city population. We need to find two output, name of all the continents and average city population. Also we need to provide the output as round. So it is also very simple problem. So first we need to select the names, that is nothing but country.continent. They are provided in the question. You have to type the same country.continent. And then we need to print the second output, that is average city population. So average city population is nothing but city.population. So also you need to round the value. For that you have to type floor for rounding the values. Floor of average city.population. So this is the code for average city population. So after that you need to type the table name from city, comma. So you can also see the note condition where city.country code and country.country code must be matching key columns. So you need to type city, comma, country, that is the tables, and then you have to type the condition where city.country code and country.country code must be equal. Country.country code, country.code. We need to group them by country.continent. So that's it. So this is the code. First we need to provide the names of all continents, and then we need to find the average city population. The condition code, country code and country.code must be equal. Whenever we use aggregate functions, we have to provide group by condition. So you have to run this code. So that's it. So these are all the output for our problem. Asia, Europe. So these are all the output. So you have to submit this code. So in the next class, we are going to solve the 42 problem. So now we are going to solve advanced join problems. So there are 3 tables, student, friend, packages. So the condition, student contains 2 columns, ID and name. Friend contains two columns, ID and friend ID. And then packages contains two columns, ID and salary. Offer salary in thousands dollars per month. So these are all the tables, three tables. So after that, we can see the question. We need to write the query to output the names of those students. We have to provide the student name whose best friend got offer higher salary than them. So we need to find the best friend's salary first. And then the names of the best friends must be ordered by the salary amount. That is nothing but ascending order or descending order. So also the third condition, it is guaranteed that no two students got the same salary offer. So it is very simple problem. We have to find the student best friend salary package. So we can see the explanation for this problem. Now we are going to solve this. First you have to type select. We need to find the names of the best friend. So we need to select the name from the students table. So best friends. So we need to type friends. Friends. Higher salary. So there are packages. So salary will be present in packages. Packages. P1. For short, we are using P1. And packages 2. P2. P1 is for the student. P2 is for their best friend. So we need to compare that. If the best friend got salary higher than them, that is our output. So we need to type the where condition. Where student dot id equal to friends dot id. Student id equal to friends id. We need to compare this. If equal. So that is their best friend. We can find that. His best friend will be present in the table friends. Student ID equal to friend ID. And from this we can find who's their best friend. After that we can compare their packages. And then you have to type student dot ID package. Student salary package. First we need to find the student salary package. And then we can compare the salary package with their best friend. So there are two packages. Packages 1 is for the student. Packages 2 is for the friends. Students.id equal to P1, comma id. And we need to find the friend salary package. Friends dot friend id. So that is the column name friend id equal to P2. That is their salary package. Now we need to compare the packages. P1 dot student salary package dot salary less than friends salary package. We need to provide the output. That is our output. Student whose best friend got offer higher salary than them. For that, you need to type this code. P1 dot salary, student salary less than best friend salary. And then we need to order them by the salary amount. So we need to order by P2 dot salary. We are going to order them by their friends package. That is our condition. Order by the salary amount offered to the best friends. So you don't need to type P1. You have to type P2. P2 is for the best friends. So you have to run this code. So that's it. Our output is successfully executed. So these are all the best friends salary package higher than their students. So now we are going to solve the basic join problem. So we can see the question. Julia just finished conducting a coding contest. She needs our help assembling the leaderboard. So after that, we can see the conditions. First, we need to write a query to print the respective hacker ID. We need to print the hacker ID and name of the hackers who achieved full score for more than one challenge. And then we need to order our output in the descending order by total number of challenges in a hacker earn a full score. If more than one hacker received full score in the same number of challenge, we need to sort them by ascending order. So it is also very simple problem. First, we need to print the hacker ID and name of the hackers who achieved full score by completing more than one challenge. So these are all the tables and columns. So you can see the columns and tables. Hacker table, difficulty table. So we are going to solve this problem. First, we need to select the hacker ID. So first, you have to type select hacker dot, that is h dot, that will be considered as hackers dot id. We are going to select the hacker ID and then name of the hackers h dot name from the table hackers. So after that, you have to type from submission. So submission contains the challenge. We are going to print the names of the hackers who completed more than one challenge. So that will be present in the submission table. So submission table will contain the challenges. So submission will be short as yes. We are going to call the submission as yes. And then we need to combine the table join hackers. Hacker will be short form as H. Whenever we use join, we need to find the matching columns. So the matching columns will be hacker submission hacker ID equal to hacker table hacker ID. That will be our matching column. Using the matching column only, we can use join. So this is our condition. We are going to print the hacker ID and name of the hackers who completed more than one challenge. That challenge will be present in submission table. For that only we are joining the submission with hacker. Also we need to join the challenges table. It will be considered as C. Again we need to find the matching columns. So submission.challenge ID equal to challenge.challenge ID. It will be our matching columns. We are using two joins. We are going to join these tables. So now we need to join another table, that is the difficulty table. So difficulty will be short form as D on C. So we need to combine the difficulty table with challenges table. Also, we need to combine them based on matching columns. So C dot challenges dot difficulty level equal to D, that is nothing but difficulty dot difficulty level. That will be our matching column. And then we need to type the condition submission dot score equal to difficulty dot score. If two values are equal, submission score equal to difficulty score, we need to group them. Group by hacker ID. And then hacker name. We are going to group them by hacker ID and hacker name. So, and then we are going to count having count more than 1. Order them by count of descending by hacker ID. We need to order them by descending order of the hacker ID. So that's it. So this is the code for this problem. So it is very simple problem. We need to find the hacker ID and name of the hacker, and then name of the hacker which scored full score for more than one challenge. So you have to run this code. That's it. We have successfully completed this problem. So now we are going to solve our last problem in the HackerRank platform for SQL. So we need to find the result for alphabetical order list of all names in the occupation. I immediately followed by first letter of each profession as parental. For example, actor name A, doctor name D, professor name P, singer name S. So actor A, doctor D, professor P. So that is our first condition. So we need to order the list of names in the occupation table. So the second condition, query the number of occurrences each occupation and sort them by ascending order. So how many occupations count? We need to provide the count, number of occurrences. So this is the sample output. Ashley. So C will be the professor. Christine, professor. Jane, actor. Jenny, doctor. Maria, actor. Meera, singer. And then we can see the number of doctors, 2. Number of singers, 2. So that is the second condition. So we are going to solve this problem. First, we need to select the names. We need to concatenate the names. Name, comma, substring of occupation. So this is the format for the output for this problem. We need to concatenate 1, 1. So 1 is nothing but the doctor. D. We need to concatenate the name. Ashley, P. P is nothing but professor. So that's the substring of occupation, 1, 1. Doctor name D. So that is the 1, 1. We need to concatenate. So you can see the output bracket. For that only I provided bracket P. P is nothing but occupation 1 comma 1. We are going to find the substring professor 1, that is 1. A, that is the 1. And then closing bracket for the profession. So this is the first output. For short form, it will be considered as N from the table occupations. So this is the first output. We need to order list, alphabetically order all the names in the occupation. Alphabetically is nothing but ascending order, A to Z. And then the second condition, number of occurrences. We need to provide the select concat. We need to concat for the format. There are a total of, you need to type comma, and then you have to type the number of occurrences. For that you have to type count of occupations. Occupation, comma, you have to type space. For that we have to use single quotation space, comma, lower of occupation. So doctor, it is not in capital, so it is in the lower form. For that we need to lower the occupation, comma, dot, ending dot. So this is the format for the second output. So after that we need to provide the table. So you have to type from occupations, that is the table, and then we need to group by occupations. At last we need to order them by count. Occupation, comma, occupation, so you need to run this code. So that's it. We have successfully completed this problem. So this is our test case output. You can see the two output formats. At last, you need to submit this code. So that's it. We have successfully completed all the problems in the HackerRank platform from basics to advanced. So if you like this course, please put positive review in the comment section. Hope I can see you in the upcoming courses taught by me.